We all know the good things about Florida. There are so many good things about Florida. Between the sunshine, the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, the boating, the swimming, the shopping, the eating, the sandy beaches, so many things to do. We all know the wonderful things about Florida, and that's the reason that it's such a popular place, not just to live, but also to visit. But are there any spots in Florida that aren't so good, that don't feel so resorty and fun and beautiful? Are there any spots that you might want to avoid, but you're just unaware of them and you're not exactly sure where those might be? And I will take that one step further. Are they pretty darn close to those beautiful areas that I just described, to where you could get yourself confused and possibly make a bad decision if you get overly focused on price? Yes, there are. So today we're going to be talking about 5 locations, and there's more than 5, but we're going to focus on 5 that fit that bill. Yes, they are close to paradise. Yes, if you get in your car and you drive a little ways, you're going to be right in the middle of paradise. But if you don't, and you don't notice, you could put yourself right in ground zero of an area that you don't want to be in. Now, before we jump into that, if this is the first time we're meeting, I want to introduce myself. My name is Barrett Pastor, and I've been a real estate broker for 26 years. So hopefully I'm coming to you from a place of knowledge and experience, and I can help you navigate all things Florida. So let's just get right into this. And like I said, we're going to go over 5, but there's a lot more than 5. So we're going to start with Florida City. Now, Florida City is between the Keys, and you've got the Everglades, and you have Miami. Now, you might think that sounds like a great place. Miami, the Everglades, the Keys, that's all of that right up my alley. I'm in. It's right in the middle of it or very close to it. I'm in. But did you know that Florida City is the murder capital of the state of Florida as of 2023? Your chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime. Now, Florida City is one of those places that if you get turned around to the left and make a circle around and to the right, all of a sudden you're in it, and all of a sudden you're wondering what the heck's going on here. Now, I want to tell you, in going over these places with you, this is all public information. You can easily look all of this up, and if you are thinking about visiting somewhere in Florida that you're unfamiliar with, you should always do your research. As I said, this is not my opinion. This is public record made available to everyone. So 1 in 38 on violent crime. Now, I'm going to look here at my notes, and I'm going to give you a couple other statistics that I think you should know. Now, murder is not the only problem they have going on in Florida City. They also have extremely high property crime. So you're talking about vandalism and, car break-ins, things like that. Extremely high there as well. Number 3 in the state of Florida. So Florida City may not be a place that you might want to invest your money or your vacation time in. Next one, Lake City. Now, Lake City is going to be up north a bit in Florida, and it sits right about between Jacksonville and Tallahassee. It used to be called Alligator City. You have got a great deal of violent crime and property crime in Lake City as well. So let's talk about the population there. Little over 12,000. Now, your chances of becoming a victim of a violent crime in Lake City, Florida are 1 in 41. So we're talking about murder or assault, something like that. Now, you also have a 1 in 15 chance of being robbed or a victim of some sort of property crime, car break-in, held up at gunpoint, something like that in Lake City, Florida. Now, they have been making a big push to trying to improve that, but still yet the numbers have not changed, and they've kind of run pretty consistently as one of the top places that the likelihood of you being a victim of some kind of crime is pretty high. The next one, we're going to head back down south into Miami-Dade County, and we are heading over to Opa Locka. Now, you might have heard of Opa Locka because some movies have been filmed there, Bad Boys, one of the Bad Boys films was filmed there. Fast and Furious was filmed there. It's very close to Miami. As I said, it's in Miami-Dade County. But let me read you some statistics on that. So you have, let's see, there's a car theft every third day. The beautiful architecture and Hollywood draw can be deceiving on safety. Opa Locka falls right behind Florida City in violent crimes per capita and is riddled with car theft. Listen to this one. About 1 every 3 days, there's a car theft. I've heard that. So let me give you some stats here. The population is a little over 16,000, about 16,500, and the crime rate is about 2,000 per 100,000. So that puts it as the second most dangerous place to live in the state of Florida. Property crime comes in number 6. So again, this is one of those areas that sometimes people feel like all of Miami is a beautiful area. But let me tell you, there are many, many spots in Miami that can get questionable, where the likelihood that your car gets stolen or that you get hit over the head or you get robbed or you get mugged. Like I said, this is all information that's publicly accessible. It is pretty darn high in that Miami-Dade County area. So you really have to do your research. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Not to be confused with Lake City, we also have Lake Park. So let me read you some stats there. I'm going to pop a map here and show you exactly where it is. This city may be called Lake Park, but it sits right on the beach. Lake Park, Florida is the first zoned municipality in the state and certainly looks like the ideal place to raise a family, with one glaring problem: property crime. While you might not be the victim of a violent crime in Lake Park, you should keep an extra eye out on all of your valuables. So it is the 8th highest in murder and violent crimes, and it is the number 1 highest in property crime. So last year there were over 8,200 property crime reported incidents in Lake Park. So that would indicate something to you. That would indicate something to you. You think the beach, you think you're fine, but maybe not so much. Panama City Beach. Now that's going to be up in the Panhandle area. Panama City is one of those places that it's really a big draw for spring breakers. Some people love it. Some people really don't like it. It kind of has a bit of a carnival atmosphere, maybe is a way to put it. So, you know, one of the nicknames that some people in Florida like to call that area is the Redneck Riviera. I'm sure some of you have heard that. But let's talk more specifically about crime. So there are 13,200 people living in Panama City Beach, and it ranks number 5 in violent crime and number 7 in property crime. And part of that is probably, they think anyway, due to so much tourism. You know, like I said, that's an area that people flock to, but mainly in the warmer months, because in the off season, being that it's up in the Panhandle, it doesn't get real warm like it does as you come farther south. So it's a little bit more seasonal in that regard. But with the influx of tourists during that short time period, the crime rate is just through the ceiling. And Panama City is a place that you hear of a lot of people saying that they go and they take their family. I guess the thing with that is you just have to be very careful of where you're going. You know, I had a client of mine that ended up buying something in Naples from me, and they told me that they heard so many great things about Panama City. They went there and visited, and they said they literally did not feel safe at night. They didn't feel like they could walk around in the evening and sort of live the way that they felt they wanted to live if they were going to buy a place for a few months out of the year in Florida. And I've heard that a lot about Panama City, and I'm sure that that's kind of area to area, just like anywhere in the country. It really depends on each specific location. But But these 5 places that we just went over, when you have stats like that, when you have high murder rates and high property crime rates, it just doesn't give you that resorty warm feeling that most of us are looking for when we go on vacation or we want to take our family to somewhere special. So I would just say, before you enter those zones, do so with a little bit of knowledge, and definitely, as I've said a few times now, do your research.